The webinar is live and is being recorded, and this will be for your reference later at a later stage. A copy of the slides will be sent to you and the link to the recording as well, so you can reference them a bit later. I am joined today with membership team members who are on hand to answer your questions throughout the webinar. So please do use the chat box to send in any questions that you have, and we will aim to answer them throughout, and then we'll also answer any unanswered questions at the end of the webinar too. So I think we're on cue to get started now. My name is Olga, and I'm the Partner Engagement Manager here at the RSS, and I'll be taking you through the journey to become a member with the RSS. So today we'll be going through who the RSS is and what we do, by touching a bit on the history of the RSS and how we make a difference in the data and statistical world. I'll be explaining the reasons why you should join the RSS by looking at the benefits that you'll receive and how you can make a difference by getting involved in different initiatives that the RSS have for you. I'll also demonstrate what the membership levels and your professional development looks like with the society, as well as what you need to do to accomplish them. So who are we? We were founded in 1834, so we've been around for quite a few years now, and we are one of the world's leading organisations advocating for the importance of statistics and data. We're a professional body for all statisticians and data analysts, or anyone who has a general interest in stats or data, wherever in the world that you might live. We have more than 10,000 members in the UK and across the world. And as a charity, we advocate for the key of statistics and data in society and work to ensure that policy formulation and decision making are informed by evidence for the public good. So what do we do and how do we do it? So through our research, and our key objective is for statistics to be used effectively in the public interest. So that policy formulation and decision making are informed by evidence. To support this work, from time to time, we commission research, expert panels, working groups or workshops, and sometimes in partnership with other organisations to investigate issues from which reports are published. The RSS regularly contributes to the media on a number of topics relating to statistics and data science. We are committed to ensuring that the correct use of statistics in media, and our statistical ambassadors regularly provide background statistical expertise to journalists. The RSS also have various policy groups and task forces which are member-led. And to name just a couple, we have the Academic Affairs Advisory Group, we have a COVID-19 task force, we also have an Education Policy Advisory Group. So these are just to name a couple of the groups, or a few of the groups that we have that all help towards formulating informed decisions and evidence. The RSS helps professional statisticians keep up to date with their skills and upkeep their CPD through delivery of online, in-company and public courses. Our aim is to meet the needs of professional statisticians, helping them keep their skills up to date and relevant, as well as non-statisticians or users of statistics who want to understand the basics of statistics and data analysis to help them either in their jobs or in their personal lives. All courses are developed and delivered by using the expertise that we have as a renowned professional society. Our accreditation process provides a valuable endorsement for institutions offering programmes in statistics and related disciplines at honours degree and at master's level. By awarding accreditation, we hope to ensure that teaching, learning and assessment with a programme, course or a module is of high quality and meets the needs of students and employers. As well as recognising excellence, we also seek to improve standards for learning and teaching through effective partnerships with institutions and sharing good practice. Our accreditation scheme also provides students with a competitive edge in the challenging job market nowadays. The Society is run by its members for its members, so we rely on their collective expertise to carry out the work that we do. We offer ample volunteering opportunities and initiatives for members who want to offer their skills to good causes. And in return for your time, you will have the opportunity to share your experiences, develop your network, and learn new skills. So moving on to our membership categories and what they look like. So we have, just to start off with, we have our entry levels that we call e-student and fellow. And our membership grades offer something for everyone at any stage of their professional life. Whether you're starting out in your career as you're a student or a recent graduate, or have a level of seniority in your role and have many years work experience, or you're just maybe someone with an interest in data analysis and statistics, there is a level that you can join. Looking at e-students, we offer free membership to all students in full-time education, and those completing a PhD on a full-time or part-time basis too. E-students have access to several key membership benefits, including our fortnightly electronic newsletter. You have free access to Significance magazine via our website, or you can access them on the iOS and Android apps. You have the opportunity to get involved in our structure of groups and meetings to network, learn what's going on in your local area, and share best practices too. We also have a section that is dedicated to young statisticians or early careers statisticians, and they aim to unite these statisticians by acting as a central resource which supports, promotes, coordinates, and provides a voice for all those within the YSS community. They run regular meetings and social events, which you can be part of, so worth joining and having a look at what they do. Moving on to our fellow grade, our most popular form of grade of membership, actually, and it's open to anyone with an interest in statistics and data science at any stage of their career. So it could be from students right up to retirees. As a fellow, you will join our community of over 10,000 members worldwide, and you'll have access to a range of benefits designed to keep you up to date with the latest developments in the world of statistics and help you further your career. So joining as a fellow, what will you get? So you'll have the opportunity to further your career with professional accreditation. You'll have access to our publications, including electronic newsletters and our digital journals, as well as the print subscription of Significance magazine. You'll have the opportunity to take part in our volunteering initiatives, including Statisticians for Society. You'll have the opportunity to connect with other members at events held online and across the UK and abroad. You'll have voting rights in our council elections to help shape the future of the RSS and its activities too. And you'll also have exclusive member discounts with major publishers, and we also have member discounts on IT equipment from Dell Technologies. So we recommend that you apply for one of the entry levels now to start accessing all the benefits and resources available to you, which you'll hear more about throughout this webinar. So as a society, we work hard to ensure that the profession of statistics is valued in the wider world and support members along a defined professional pathway from university to professional practice. We do this by accrediting university courses and offering continual professional development, so CPD, and recognising achievement through professional accreditation. The awards within the professional pathway recognise your combination of education, experience, competence, and commitment to ethics at a high level. They give your employer and future employers, contractors and collaborators of statisticians a level of assurance that you are a highly skilled stats or data professional. And they're also a valuable addition to your CV in this competitive job market and to make you stand out from the crowd. So if we look at start looking into the requirements of each of the grades at the professional and professional awards. So looking at data analyst, it's a registered form of professional membership status that provides formal recognition of a member's statistical training and work-based evidence at entry level. The holders of this award are considered to be RSS data analysts. So joining as a data analyst is your first step to professional status and a stepping stone into gaining GradStat and CStat, which is graduate statistician and chartered statistician status. In addition to the benefits that I mentioned earlier that you get as a fellow, data analysts also get the use of the data analyst post-nominal designation and digital badge. You'll have opportunities to increase your network through the Professional Statisticians Network. And you'll also have further discounts and quite significant discounts on the society conferences that we organise every year, society events, and also the RSS training courses. I'll go into the criteria and entry requirements of a data analyst a bit later, but if you are unsure if this is the right level for you, or if any of the awards that we're going to talk about later are the right level for you, the RSS membership team is always happy to liaise with applicants individually to help you determine, or them determine, which route is the most suitable based on their individual circumstances. So moving on to graduate statistician. So graduate statistician membership is for those with a statistics-based degree or a degree with significant statistics content, including theory, methods, and practice. It's for those who want to further their statistical career towards CStat, chartered statistician, and demonstrate to employers their commitment to best practice and ethical conduct. There is a competency-based route for this award, which I'll discuss a bit later in the criteria. So, graduate statistician is a grade for professional membership that formally recognises a member's statistical qualifications for up to 10 years from the date awarded. In addition to the benefits enjoyed by fellows, graduate statisticians also get the use of the GradStat post-nominal designation and digital badge. You'll gain access to the Society's GradStat mentoring scheme, where you'll be able to be mentored by a CStat member on professional development required for your application to become a CStat yourself. So current CStat holders are assigned a graduate statistician within a similar industry and expected to build a mentoring relationship, providing advice on how to maintain their CPD profiles, their career progression, and ultimately help them prepare to apply for chartered statistician. Just like data analysts, you will also have the opportunity to grow your networks through the Professional Statisticians Network, and also you will have those significant discounts on the Society's conference events and training courses. Moving on to chartered statisticians. Apologies. So chartered statistician is our highest professional award. It provides formal recognition of a member's statistical qualifications and professional training and experience as well. So CStat is actually a respected designation and has many benefits professionally for active statisticians. So the additional benefits that CStats get, again, they have the CStat post-nominal designation and digital badge. That you'll as a chartered statistician, you'll have the opportunity to participate in the mentoring scheme that I mentioned earlier and become a mentor for aspiring chartered statisticians. You'll have those significant discounts and further discounts on the Society's conference, events, and the training courses that we run. Again, you'll have access to the Professional Statisticians Network. You'll also have the opportunity to promote your consultancy services through which is publicly available on our consultants directory, available on our website. And you'll also have access to professional indemnity insurance with Towergate Insurance, who have set up a scheme specifically for chartered statisticians, including holders of MIS, so MIS, or FIS, FIS, and graduate statisticians giving extensive cover as well. So let's start looking at the requirements for the professional pathway and what you need to hold to be able to qualify to apply for one of these awards. So to fulfill the requirements for data analyst, you will need to join as a fellow first, and you'll need to have at least 1 year's work experience in any relevant practical professional statistical experience that will be considered. You'll need to have at least 30 hours of continued professional development, CPD, and this will need to be evidenced by submitting a completed RSS CPD activity summary document, which again is available to download on our website. You'll need to, as a data analyst, you'll need to have good knowledge and training in entry-level statistics outlined in the criteria, which I'll cover in a few moments. You will also have undertaken statistical training either as part of the RSS quality marked courses or course that meet this standard. And if the module or training is not accredited by the RSS, then you must be able to evidence how it meets the criteria by providing additional information about the module or the course that you've undertaken. And you can see the accreditation pages on our website for more details about the specific requirements for this. To become a graduate statistician, you will need to join as a fellow first as well. And then to gain graduate statistician status, you will need one of the following. So you'll need to have completed a UK honours degree, and that can be a second class honours or above, or a higher degree. If you don't have a UK honours degree, then an appropriate overseas degree will also be acceptable, and you may need to evidence that with an MSc as well. Or you hold the graduate diploma of the Society. It's worth noting that there are two routes that you can take to gain graduate statistician. You can either go down the standard route or there's a competence-based route. The standard route, you must have one of the following. So you may have graduated with an RSS accredited degree meeting all its conditions. You either have qualified with a non-accredited degree, but you can evidence why you meet the criteria, the GradStat criteria. If you're heading down the competence-based route, then you will need one of the following as well. So you need to hold a non-accredited level 6 or 7 degree or equivalent to those degrees. You'll have undertaken sufficient statistical training, either as part of the RSS quality mark courses or course that meet the standards. And you have at least 2 years work experience within a statistical role. For your application, you will be asked a series of competence-based questions as part of it. And you'll be able to supply evidence of your continued professional development, your CPD, for the past year. So it needs to total 60 hours of learning. Moving on to CSTAT, the requirements for that, there are also two routes that you can take there. So you can either go down the standard route or you can take the competence-based route, just like GradStat. You may be eligible for the Child Statistician Award if you have to meet one of the requirements to go down the standard route. So you are currently a holder of GradStat with at least 5 years work experience within a statistical role. You have graduated with an RSS accredited degree, meeting all the conditions, and have at least 5 years work experience there as well. Or you have qualified with a non-accredited degree, but you can evidence why you meet the RSS GradStat standards. Plus, you have at least, again, those 5 years work experience within a statistical role. To go down the competence-based route, you are a current member of the Society holding the fellowship status with or without data analyst, and you have graduated with a non-accredited level 6 or 7 degree or equivalent. And you hold sufficient statistical knowledge and have at least 5 years work experience within a statistical role. You'll be asked a series of competency-based questions as part of your application via the competence-based route too. One thing it is worth highlighting now is that both the CSTAT routes, standard or competence-based, you have to include at least 2 referees as well. And at least one of these referees will need to be a statistician themselves, and you have to have known them in the last 5 years. And they also both require to evidence their CPD, and that needs to equal to 2 years worth of CPD, so a total of 120 hours. So moving on quickly to the competency framework and what that looks like. with all three of our professional pathways, there are a set criteria and competence framework that you will need to meet to be eligible to apply. So the awards have been linked and underpinned with a competency framework, allowing individuals to identify the skills and the knowledge that they have in order to progress through the membership levels. This framework can also be used to help you determine which level is right for you if you're unsure. So look at each individual competence, and if you can give substantial evidence of each one, then you'll know more or less which level is the right level for you. It's important as well at this point to highlight that to apply for data analyst, you only need to evidence one or more of the criteria that's set there. But also, if you want to go for GradStat or for CStat, then you'll need to show evidence of all the criteria within the framework on top of any of the other requirements needed to apply for these grades. So hopefully now you'll see the process and the steps that you'll need to take to become either a data analyst, a GradStat or a CStat, and how they give you, your peers and your employer and potential clients, the validity of your skills and experience as a professional. So I have made reference throughout the requirements and the evidence that you need to give us in order to apply for our professional grades. I have referenced quite a bit about the CPD element. So our CPD is so important to uphold for your RSS professional membership and for you to keep up to date with your skills and knowledge. The RSS actually do offer many great opportunities for you to help you with this. But you may be thinking at this point, well, what is CPD and what counts as CPD? So CPD is a combination of approaches, ideas and techniques for continued learning throughout your career. It aims to keep you up to date with advancements in your field so that you can develop as a professional. An active interest in CPD is common practice for most professionals, if not all professionals. It is important for the development of the profession and the maintenance of modern standards that all practicing statisticians should view CPD as a vital part of their personal review process. So CPD enhances the credibility of the profession. The RSS encourages all its members and requires all its professional qualified members to follow a process of continuous professional development review through CPD. So the Society provides guidelines on the minimum targets that you need to aim as well. So the RSS believes that CPD should be a key part of a professional statistician's work ethic. CPD means that the development of the whole person in a statistical and non-statistical manner, with technical and which is also technical and personal of yourself. CPD is also an evaluation, and it's essentially a self-assessment process. So the RSS have sort of divided CPD into four different sort of sections. So CPD is defined by four main categories, I should say. So the first one we're looking at is work-based learning. So this can be anything from experiential learning, so you learning on the job, for example, and gaining and learning from any experience, or from you sort of expanding in your role and developing in your role. It can be in-service training, so this includes orientation programs, standard operating procedures and employment development programs, etc. It may be also receiving coaching from others as well, or work shadowing, peer review of your own work, including presentations to colleagues, for example, presentations to external clients, regulators, policymakers, whoever you work with. It could also be supervising colleagues or students within the office environment. And it could also be sometimes people may be involved in job rotations or secondments and sabbaticals. All this counts towards work-based learning. If we look at the second section, which is professional activity, so this could be anything from you being perhaps an organizer of a conference or a meeting or a course. You may be an examiner. You might be a referee for a journal, for example. You may be a supervisor of research. You may be lecturing or teaching new materials, for example, giving presentations or being a discussant at conferences or scientific meetings, for example. Maybe you network with professionals in other organisations, coaching or mentoring, all that counts towards professional activity. If we look at the third section, we have formal education. So what falls under formal education? So undertaking a programme of learning or research for an academic qualification, for example. Attending any training courses, whether they be RSS training courses or any other training courses you undertake as part of your professional development. Attending conferences, whether that be the RSS conference or any other conferences that you attend, again, for your professional development and knowledge. Undertaking distance learning courses, for example, e-learning activities, so they don't have to be formal, long, sort of months and years of courses. It can be short one-day e-learning courses that you do. Reading, general reading to understand the legal and or regulatory frameworks of the professional work. Writing articles for papers, it could be anything along those lines. If we look at the fourth section, we have self-directed learning. So self-directed learning is things like reading books, journals, articles, reviewing and summarising books and articles, perhaps you might be involved in that activity. Maybe upgrading knowledge through internet searches, using the use of electronic information sources, for example. Reflective practice, so assessing benefits of CPD activities to yourself, to a client or to an employer. Identifying your next step, so looking at your appraisal systems, for example, internally, that could all count towards it as well. So aside from all the examples given here and just now, there are also other ways that you can upkeep your CPD, and that also help make the all-rounded professional that the RSS are looking for and value. So some examples could be projects that you get involved in with employers, such as organisational restructuring or strategic planning, resourcing, anything along those lines. You've got demonstrating your leadership skills, for example. So you may be a line manager, and you perhaps manage, or even outside of work, you might be managing a children's sports team, for example, or you're a leader of a scouts or guides activity, for example. You may be a secretary for a club, for example, or for a society. You might be a school governor or parent-teacher, part of a parent-teacher association organizer. All this counts. Any sort of financial skills that you might have. So, for example, you may be a treasurer for a club or a society. So all this, hopefully will demonstrate that it's not just the professional and what you do on your day-to-day. It's the all-rounder person that we want to see, and all the development that you do outside of work too. So how does the RSS help you with your CPD? So the RSS does have a variety of ways that you can get involved with this, with us, and to help you clock up all those CPD hours. So you can do this by becoming a reviewer or an associate editor for one of our journals. You can attend a discussion meeting where an author presents their paper, followed by a discussion for it, and then we publish it on one of our series or our journals. You can be part of our sections and local groups who are always looking for people to help with their meetings and get involved in their events, and generally cover a broad subject area that you'll find relevant to your career and of your interest as well. You can attend our annual conference, for example, whereby you can listen to topical talks and research within the profession, and meet other professionals to share and exchange knowledge and expertise. To help with your formal training, the RSS does have a variety of courses that you can book and take with a generous discount once you do become a member. So all courses are developed and delivered using the expertise that we have and are renowned as a professional society. We also have established reputation as a trusted training provider with tutors who are experienced in their field and of their expertise, as well as trainers. We have courses for all levels. So we have courses from foundation level right up to professional level. So these are, foundation level would be from people that sort of just have beginnings or the sort of basic knowledge of statistics. And then professional level is aimed more at the statisticians and data scientists who are advanced in their knowledge and their career. So how do you apply? What do we need to do to actually get your application forward? So to understand the requirements for each level, now that you've understood the criteria and the requirements, you're now ready to apply. But what is it that you actually need to upload? So to become a data analyst, you first need to apply for fellow, as mentioned, and then it's a very quick sort of process online. You won't be asked to provide any documents up front. There is an additional one-off fee of £50 once you select online to apply for data analyst. For the GradStat, you'll need to upload electronic versions of specified degrees, so the sort of criteria and the requirements we mentioned earlier, together with their transcripts. So if you don't have any of your transcripts, then contact your university or your college or your course provider, and they'll be able to get this sent to you. You'll also need to upload a summary of your CPD activities from the last year, totaling 60 hours. So if applying via the competency route, for example. And if we look at the chartered statistician, for you to apply for that, you'll need to evidence electronic versions of your degree certificates and transcripts. You'll need to have details of professional experience, including dates. You'll need a summary of CPD activities for the last 2 years, and we do have a template that you can use online on our website that you can download to help you evidence this CPD activity. And again, as mentioned, you need to have contact details for at least 2 referees. So I have touched upon today on some of the benefits that come with each of the grades that you will potentially apply for. But here are some more reasons. So you'll have the opportunity to improve your knowledge through getting involved and being part of our sections and local groups. So by either putting yourself forward to be part of the team or by attending the events and discussions run by these groups in and around your local area. So you can also keep up to date with the latest news in the statistical world through receiving your email and print newsletters as well. We value your expertise as a member and your knowledge as well. So you will have the chance to share best practice by getting involved in our volunteering opportunities. For example, we have Statisticians for Society, where you can help us provide pro bono statistical expertise to voluntary, community and social enterprise organisations. You can also volunteer with the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, AIMS, to support the statistical education at AIMS centres in Africa, or even volunteer as a trustee to help charities use data in decision making. These are just a few extra sort of reasons why you could make a difference for the greater good. You can also enhance your professional development through training courses, as mentioned, attending our events and watching our webinars in your own time. We also have stats resources for journalists, for teachers, and anyone who would like to improve their statistical literacy. We also have discounts, as I've mentioned previously, that you can enjoy as a member of the society, which include up to 30% off books from various publishers, to having exclusive discounts off laptops, desktops, and accessories from Dell Technologies. And for anyone who is self-employed or part of a growing small business, you'll have access to Dell's highly trained small business technology advisors to help members with free advice on how to grow their business. So as a membership team, as a society, we do come across quite a few sort of myths as to why people can't join, or any sort of, there's always something that people think, or ideas that people think that they cannot join. So I'm hopefully going to debunk some of these myths that we hear very often for people as to why they cannot become a member. So A lot of students, in fact, do think that because they are currently studying and may not have the right or enough work experience, and therefore thinking that they cannot join. This is incorrect. You can join at this grade, and it does not require you to have any formal work experience. So we offer both free. We offer free. Membership, as mentioned, to full-time students and to those studying a PhD on a full-time or part-time basis. So remember that the student membership is free, but more basic in terms of what you get. So while you can alternatively join as a fellow, and then you'll be you'll also get access to more benefits throughout your membership with us. As people progress in their career, they tend to move into more senior management roles and do less of the day-to-day handling of the basics of their roles, and believe that they can't meet the criteria because of this. So again, this is incorrect. You can still apply at the professional level, for example, as we do look at the experience as a whole and not just based on the role that you're doing right now. So if you are a line manager and you are sort of tied up in more HR type issues and doing less of your sort of data and statistics practices that you used to do, you can still apply, and there will be a level that you can apply at as well if you were looking at the professional awards. So we do always encourage that you look over your career and see where you can evidence any experience against the criteria requirement for each of the levels, and then that will help hopefully get you a better understanding of which level is the right one for you. And in fact, CPD is another stumbling block, which most applicants do struggle to evidence and feel like they don't have enough, so therefore they cannot apply. So again, hopefully in the previous sections of this webinar, I've sort of hopefully successfully given you an idea of what CPD and what counts as CPD. So it's probably best that you do look at the sort of requirements and look back on the on your professional development as well as your personal development as a whole, as mentioned, and see how you can actually apply what you've done that can contribute to the application of your awards. So all applications are considered by our Members and Professional Affairs Committee, and the committee may defer a case, for example, depending on the receipt of additional information to the RSS office. So we will contact the applicant if this needs to be requested. Applicants who don't fill the criteria but appear to have substantial professional training and experience they may be advised to apply for either GradStat or CStat statuses via the competence-based route. And again, just reiterate, if you're not sure what level is the right one for you, again, we have a membership team who are on hand to always help you on an individual basis to determine which route is the best and suitable for you. So hopefully now you'll see that membership with the RSS, that the RSS does give you a lot more opportunities to become a better and more knowledgeable professional, and we give you more than just membership with us. So as a member, you'll be given ample opportunities to further your knowledge through events, through reading about the developments of the profession that the RSS actively take part in, and most importantly, that you'll be joining a community with like-minded data and statistical professionals, that you can share best practices and ideas together. So if you are looking to get your employer involved in your professional development, they can also become a member and be part of our community of corporate partnerships, whereby your employer will receive help with a discount on your membership fees, if they are paying for them, of course, and will receive help with recruiting for any roles that they might have at a discounted rate. They'll also receive discounts on in-house training courses as well for employees to attend to further their knowledge and skills and update that way. They'll also have the opportunity to increase their exposure through sponsorship at our events and annual conference, for example. So there's plenty of benefits for them too. So your next step now is to become a member. So you can start by becoming a fellow and start to get instant access to all our benefits already mentioned throughout the webinar today. You can get involved in some of our volunteering opportunities, as mentioned, and contribute to our policy and education work. Take part in our technical webinars, for example. You can write for one of our publications if you wish, and have your say in the strategic direction of the Society and its governance by joining one of our committees. So that brings us to the end of the webinar. I hope you've enjoyed the talk today, and it's been insightful and useful, and it has helped with your understanding of the RSS and what you will gain by becoming a member with us. So what we'll do is we'll take a few minutes just to look through the questions that have come in. Hopefully you've been using the chat inbox and our team of people. We've had Alfie, Amira, Anna and Nicola on hand to help with any questions. So just take a couple of minutes just to see where we are with questions, and I'll be happy to answer any for you.
Hi, Olga, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nicola.
Hi, everybody. Hi. This is Nicola. I'm the Director of Membership at the RSS, and I'd like to thank everybody for attending today's seminar. And thanks so much to Olga for delivering such a clear and concise overview of what we're doing at the Society. We are here to help you at any time with any questions that you have, some of which we've been able to do in the chat box today. Some of the more specific questions about your personal experiences we're not able to go into today, but if you email our professional affairs colleagues, and I think that the email has already been put into the chat box, they will be able to give you specific feedback. I've also taken note today of some of the questions about people who've not been awarded their qualifications in the past and asking for feedback they may not have heard for one reason or other. I've made notes of your names and we'll get back to you on that. And also thanks for the person who told us that there are a few broken links on one of our pages. That's always useful. So thank you. Were there any things, Anna, that you noted that were coming up frequently that we can answer now?
Just a quick one for you, Olga. Quite a few people asking if the slides will be available afterwards. I believe they will, but I'm not quite sure how you were planning to distribute them.
Yeah, the slides will be available, and I believe with the recording as well. So I'll liaise with the events team and we'll get that sent to you, and they'll be sent via email.
A couple of people are saying that they've sent emails in the past and haven't had a response. I'm always happy to share my email, and I'll put it in the chat box in a minute and make sure that it goes on to the appropriate team member. Sometimes things just don't get through. We have technical hitches. Sometimes there's human error, so apologies if you've messaged us in the past and you haven't heard from us. But as I say, I'll put my email in the chat box, and you're welcome to email me at any time, and I'll pass that on to the appropriate colleague.
Yeah, also, just to say, not making excuses, but sometimes things do go into our junk email folders. I know I check mine regularly, but I think things do sometimes get caught in there, but we do our best to try and pick everything up. I think we have probably answered all the furiously typing away trying to answer everything that came in, so I hope we have, like Nicola says, you know, if there is something that's a little bit more specific, a bit more personal to you, we'll take that offline and try and get the right information for you and get back to you all. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, and have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for attending and taking your lunch break as well to listen about membership and how to get on board.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you then. Bye-bye.
Thank you.